Hey VC, it's been a while. Been busy with work and I've had a wonderful trip over to Amsterdam where I drank and ate rather too much, which was all very good fun. Um, Sneaking in a quick video while I'm waiting for the wife to turn up after work. This is going to be a contest entry into Andy Vinyl's Den 7 Deadly Sins contest. This is for his birthday being the 7th of July, so I'm just sneaking in there before the deadline for this. And he's got a great channel, loves great music, brilliant artist, shows a load of really good stuff, even the country. I kind of joked on that it's probably the one area of music I don't really get, perhaps that and hip hop. But I find it fascinating anyway, just watching Andy talk about his collection and stuff like that. So this is for Andy. Now, Andy's contest was the 7 Deadly Sins. So he wanted us to pick albums or artists that reflected something to do with the 7 Deadly Sins. Got me notes here because I'd never remember them otherwise. Not going to be a long one here. I'm just going to try and rattle through these because I think I've only got about 10 minutes or so before Jill turns up. So let's go. First one was Pride, an album that you are proud to own. I love all of them. I'm proud to own all of them. I had to really think long and hard for this one. Really struggled. And in the end, I went for something that was... Am I proud to own it? I am proud to... I'm happy I've got it. Am I proud to own it? Ownership's a weird thing. But what did I pick? Let's stop the rambling. I picked this. Highway Song Live by Blackfoot. This is recorded on Blackfoot's 1982 UK tour. And I'm proud to own it because on the very last track of side 2, track 5, Away the Lads, I'm singing on that. It's the only album I know that I'm part of. So there are other live albums where I think that might be in the show I was at. This one I know. So if you hear a squeaky little voiced bloke stood at the bar at the back, squeaking away to Away the Lads, it's me. Okay? So I'm kind of proud of that in a weird way. Obviously, my contribution to the whole album is somewhat minimal. I think the lads did probably a better job in the vocal sections than I did. But there you go. Album I'm proud to own. So what we got next? Greed. An album you wouldn't part with. Well, I'm going to show something I've shown already. But this is the first ever album I got. It was a gift from my parents on Christmas 1976. Would never part with it. It's a brilliant album. I love it to bits. As much as anything, you know, it was the album that started me off on the rock route. It is the reason why I've got all these here and all the stuff back over as well. There you go. I would never part with that. It's just a great family piece as much as anything, you know. Can't thank my parents enough for starting me down that road, although I'm sure they're not quite as thankful. There we go. Right, oh, it's going to go flying. There you go. Right, album you wished you owned. I haven't really got many grails. There's a lot of albums I would like to have. Nothing I would really be desperate for. So I had to think long and hard for this. So I went for something that I've only got on CD, and that's The Kindred by Pariah. Now, Pariah are the band that Satan morphed into. Satan's debut album, Caught in the Act, is absolutely brilliant. And I have that on vinyl, but I don't have The Kindred. So there you go. That would be the album that I would look for. New wave British heavy metal. Michael Jackson on vocals. Not that one. But yeah, just like to have that. I mean, the guys are mates. So, for no other reason than that, really. There you go. So, that was Lust. Sorry if I didn't remember that. Envy. Artist or band you wished you were part of. Right. Well, I've got about as much musical talent as I have got good looks. So, not going to happen, really. So, I had to think of something that I could hide myself at the back, or there was some other distraction that would take away the horror of seeing me up on stage. Although there is video evidence of that, it's out there somewhere. So I plumped for Hawkwind. Now, this is a great book. Carol Clark, who unfortunately who died a couple of years ago, wrote this wonderful tome. I mean, it's a meaty tome, but it is brilliant, brilliant story. I dip into it every so often and just have a good smirk. I mean, how this band ever produced anything is beyond me, but they produced some wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I figured even in the heyday, I could have hidden at the back. Everyone's eyes would have been on Stacia, and I would have just been able to get away with pressing the odd key on a keyboard somewhere. That would make a nice popping sound. So there you go. That's my envy. Artist or band I wish I was part of. Hawkwind. Oh, and I imagine the parties were pretty bloody good as well. Gluttony. Band you can't get enough of. Right. I was trying to think of this. And I was trying to think of a band that, I must have a band that I've got everything from and stuff like that. And there are one or two. But there tend to be artists that don't produce a lot of stuff anyway. So, like, Crowded House. I've got all their stuff. But I thought I'd have to go for something that was a little bit more. So, in the end, I went for the artist I'm probably spending most money on these days. And that's King Crimson. And Gluttony, because as part of their 40th anniversary, they started releasing remasters of their albums and box sets of the remasters, which contained all the live recordings that they have from the tour relating to that album. And I've been buying every single one of those box sets. So this is the Road to Red, which is perhaps the best of the box sets, I think. And this is it's not vinyl, but it's got 24 discs in it. And you have 20 discs of live concerts from the same tour. And trust me, you've got to be a bit of a fan to wade your way through them. A band like King Crimson always produced different gigs on different days, so you'd get a slightly different set list. The improv would be different. But yeah, this is now what my box set is. Let's have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 6th box set I've got of this, and they've all got multiple discs in. So there you go. I think that's a bit gluttony there. I mean, my wife would say one King Crimson disc in the house is too many, so having just 24 in one box is just bloody stupidity. But there you go. Gluttony. Band I can't get enough of. King Crimson. Wrath. Artist you can't stand. U2. There you go. Said it before. Not going to say any more. Don't like anything they've ever produced. Don't get it. There you go. U2. Not going to say any more on that. Sloth. Artists you don't listen to that much anymore. Okay. I was originally going to bring up this band. Government Meal. But their latest album, was actually quite good, and I've kind of started listening again. So I changed my mind on that one, and I went for Dream Theater. This is their debut album, When Dream and Day Unite, and by far their best as far as I'm concerned, which is probably heresy in a lot of Dream Theater fans' books, but there you go. This is my story. This is what I like. So, yeah, I mean, bought loads of stuff by this band. Up to, where are they? Dream Theater. The last studio album I bought would have been Train of Thought, which came out in 2003. And by this point, I've just lost the will to live with them. James LeBrie's vocals were a pain at the best of times. Everyone raves about Images and Words, and it's a good album, but to me it wasn't a patch on the debut, song-wise. Production-wise, I mean, the production on the debut album is not brilliant, but song-wise, it wipes the floor with anything they've produced since. And I quite liked Images and Words. I thought it was good. Went on and bought several other things. Where is it? Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Metropolis Part 2, Scenes from a Memory, was absolutely superb. Loved that. But it just proved to be a blip for me. Beyond that, I just got very, very bored with it. Like I say, last album I bought by them was 2003, and that was a band I would buy everything from. Just lost the will to live with them. Became almost a self-parody, I felt. They didn't seem to push the boundaries. It was all almost, how Dream Theater an album can we make a Dream Theater album? For a band that was supposed to be experimental and pushing the boundaries of prog metal and stuff like that, I couldn't do it. So there you go. That was my sloth, Dream Theater. So there you go. Thanks very much, Andy, for suggesting this topic. It was good something to think about, and I've had a couple of changes in mind through the process, and this is a late video coming out, so obviously I've had a lot of time to think about it. I hope there was something there that was of interest to somebody. There you go. That's my contest entry. Do check out Andy's channel if you don't already, and if you're watching this, I can't believe you don't. Brilliant guy, like I say, shows some great stuff. Even the country, which just kind of passes me by, but he just shows obvious enthusiasm about what he's listening to. So there you go. Okay, folks, might sneak in another quick contest. We'll see how I go. Okay, bye now.